Mahila, we've got 1 through 3 a perfectly mixed humanoid, very suave, super agility and intelligence. At BBBAM, August by, helping people, truck, any help we need. Female military, they all just went together. Preservision. Remnant of Jacob, Mountain Dew. Eddie Asner from Roots, November AE, BI, August by, Boba. Dog spray won't work. After card decline, Texas Roadhouse. I can see fields, says Carlos. Hurley shirt on. Ron Bushy, Iron Butterfly. Band, December BC, Aid A, August by, Boba. So that all is 2. And these are the ciphers here. You get a 28,260 trigonal down to a 139.53 Fibonacci. Okay, so take a look at that. Now 3 is Al-Qaswa Armored Personnel Carrier APC. Now here's 1. Ahab Israel King, Jehoshaphat Judah King. Micah, son of Imlah, always prophesied, verse Ahab, smote upon cheek. Ahab dies, and if he had returned in peace from Ramoth Gilead, Micaiah would have been put in prison, bread, water of affliction. This is Imlah, which is 322.9, and 322.9 was the Jewish ordinal of number 2. So these 3 parts of this creature are mixed perfectly. So 17,182 equals 139.53 plus 3,229. I'll let you take a look at these 2 other numbers here and here. Okay. Take a look at that. Those ones. Cannon gave away extra drink. Counselor or Council OR, Gardner 72 as Cherry Dr. Pepper. Ephraim Mountain Dew Baja Blast Freeze is what I was thinking. And then I have written down somewhere else that Uncle Fat was the Baja Blast Freeze. So 1 pepper Uncle Fat, 1 pepper Shark Eye, 1 pepper Fetty Wap's daughter, 1 pepper Sonny Chiba creature. May these people rest with Jesus. I'm not saying anything. These are expenditures of energy that could be something. I'm just showing the information. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't mean to throw these names around or anything. It's just how it comes out on paper because, I have limited information and limited abilities to even put all this stuff together, really. It's like a big domino puzzle type deal. So Jedi Hydro, Mark of Beast, 2 patties, the literal meaning of Mark of Beast, and then Cherry Dr. Pepper, Coke. So food, pin, G's, leak, drink, who you were. Vicente Guerrero, Mo Poblano. The Mo Poblano is that in the Mission Impossible franchise, they don't ever connect back to the first film. So that's kind of where that Mo Poblano comes into play. This is going off my liked video section. Jesse Ventura, MI Don't Bring It Back to Roots. And that's talking about the military and grandma, or for me, Granby, style clothing that this person would wear. It would be the clothing, is what they're saying, with um, the French root connection that was connected to the natives that were coming over there, and they gave him clothes and put the clothes on him, and then they gave him the milky type drink, and he would like drive in a certain like mule or some type of pusher, and he would drive around the countryside of France, kind of like the Tour de France, and like and in there in the Pyrenees mountains, um and because he was decked out just like the Revelation 17, and he was a woman in the sense that he was a clause, but he blew for, he he would eat their food, as it is in the KJV Bible and Shakespeare and all that stuff, like how they manipulated the language for the clause. The natives knew all that and taught him to manipulate it that way, that he could get past the knees of it all if he were to be drunk on the blood of the saints, like a reverse of how people in the deal today do it with the fast food in the chain sense. He was doing it with, like, you know, the food that is considered like grocery food today. So I thought that was very interesting. And then I guess he cut off and was was put in Mexico as a Afro Mexican, and was part of the um, leaders that got Spain out of Mesoamerica. And so um, that's basically what that was. And then 12 years a slave is related to that, because that Y would show up as a standalone. So it's 12, as in Revelation 12, and Y, ears, a slave, like piece of the connection to the slaves, that Jacob and Esau were the slaves, that Jacob, I want to get this right, slaves America, Jacob, hold heel of Esau. The final analysis is mentioned in my liked videos, and those are the about countries. Esau break yoke. G, they call it the stoop troop. That I and then I am an old sit on throne would be the old sit on throne, and the G is like the different kinds of even African American people, and all sorts of the different variations of the people of color. And beer native nurseware, JAMS F or ANCO. Wanted to make sure you got that's what they're saying there with the Oz. They use Oz, they kind of throw it around in that sense, that it's the hook, beer native nurseware, and slaves freed. That F are that when the slaves are freed, they are and with, that they're Revelation 17 then, and that they're they were freed, and then that was put upon them as kind of their reward. But that's just how it worked out, because of the two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Jacob slaves America, hold heel of Esau, and the Esau is those countries, with um, with the I am slaves, which is the Egypt, way back, So let's see, USA slaves, Muskogos, USA slaves who made it to North Mexico. Muskogos, the mosque, OG Oz, you know. Um, Black's canon of Bible, Jews, Gentiles. Jews doing 17 now, which we know that, but KJV, Shakespeare, Claw Eater brought about fast food. is the is this guy Vicente Guerrero. Um, so just wanted to make sure that you got all that from the liked video section. We had a big day. I wanted to keep it a Shabbat, and then do Shay bot, do return to the liked videos and just kind of show it all that way, and then keep the Sabbath holy, and then make the video. And right now it's like 1 a.m. So um, and so um, this is all number one, and number two is up there. And then number three is that armored personnel carrier APC. 1 through 3 are perfectly mixed humanoid, very suave, super agility and intelligence. So, and then we have this one. I don't know if I already went over this. I can't remember. Um, just take a look at this one here. Take a look at all this. Okay. Yeah, I got home today, and my parents had just gotten home from market where they went to go have a good steak and everything. And I had gone to Texas Roadhouse today and like had tried to have a good meal, but then my card got declined. And that's when like I saw that Ed Asner had died and everything. And like I was reading it completely different at that point. I thought it was connected to the woman, but now I'm thinking there probably is no woman. Like these seals, like we're just all on our own. I'm a little bit confused right now. Please don't like take away from the canon or whatever. Like just based off emotional stuff. Like I look, like when you're in this deal, like it does change a lot. Like you don't know really what the reality is until you come out of it and can look back on it. Like I'm not real sure, but the visions are sure. Like we're getting the stuff done. Like this is what it needs to be based off of an EA system, kind of, you know. And that doesn't mean, oh, we need to project that onto the people. It's that this is what it is. Like it's a slave system of RFID, and it's a slave system of just the spiritual warfare going on, like in the claws and the flyers and all this stuff, and like that old Legion stuff from 2017, like that I am goo was going on, like that changed stuff and like puffed it all up, to where when it broke, then it really broke. And like everyone just became Tower of Babel, like it's all these different spirits that we're dealing with along with the deal. And they said in Jurassic Park it's like a ride, they said, well, it's like a ride, your seat. And Alan was trying to get out of the seat, and it was like an amusement ride. And they were doing genetic manipulation and everything, and it was like that wasn't like suited for that moment in the film, like to have it be a ride, like. So so it's a matrix, and we're all dealing with it. But so then, like, when I got home, then my neighbors across the street just got home, and they were kind of dressed up, and then I noticed my dad was dressed up. So I'm like, did they go out to eat together? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't even met my neighbor that's across the street that's like 27. They're from Indiana, where there's a Portillo's and Hooters in Merrillville. And so I was like tripping on that a little bit. I'm like, well, I need to meet him. And was this that towing company? Like, was this like the deal? Like, because today is 6 days after that, the August 23rd. But we're just gonna see what happens. I mean, because but what happened with that was it reads exactly as that towing company, like but it's Revelation 17, like they were shooting for that. So it's like what they're shooting for, they usually get, but God doesn't count it as canon. Does that make sense? What they're shooting for in Revelation 17 to make it fit your seal is what they usually end up getting spot on, but God doesn't count it as canon. Just remember that, okay? Like that happens all the time, and that's a lot of my channel is that going on and how it reads perfect. And sometimes I would manipulate it in my favor, and I've got that on paper. We're doing a lot of stuff here that's good stuff. Like don't discount it just because, like, hey, it might not be canon, like, or he said something that doesn't sound for sure. Like I'm like we're deep in the end times. Like, I don't get lit, but I feel kind of lit. Like, I feel like my head is like spinning sometimes, like it's a lot. And then you have a vision on top of it, and the food and everything. It's just a lot. So, all right. Um but we're doing fine. We're doing fine. All right. So this is the creature here, and we just had this one as well. The 2, 3, and 1 there. So looking at Amar Camp in a Jar, Big Ben, Clock Tower tomorrow, possibly. Now, if there's something going on in the lit world, I don't know about it. I don't know, but I've talked about it because I think that something did switch with a Benjamin and Joseph transition, but I don't know. And then it says Ed Asner died. Well, that's a lot of people. That could be Xander Berkeley. That could be, that, which is Connor, or Rafiki, or it could be my uncle Mark, or it could even be my uncle George. Like, I have no idea, but I know that um it wasn't Hopi Mark, because I think that we were able to get past that. So okay, so then there's that Scratch that died. Scratch. And Ed Asner also shows um that he represents a death and hell deal in a new 47 of death and hell, and that somebody has to do the Scratch life as Ryan represents Dan Barrett. Mud runs are actually Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what that means. And, like, so it would be everything in Scratch's life would connect to this next person who does the cutoff of the deal, and, like, does a whole thing, like, of life on Wikipedia. But it doesn't just come down to Wikipedia. It's the connections you make and everything. It's deep connections, like Buddy talks of in that Buddy and Maida stuff. Like, it's deeper than what I know, because I'm stuck in the car. Like, I don't know exactly what it all is, but I can picture that it's something that I've, like, encountered before, where um like it all fits together in one moment, and then, like, you want to hold on to those moments, sort of thing. But so that's that. And let's see. Scratch. His name was Scratch. It was Hugh Perry, and his first name was Rainford. So he died, and I think Ed Asner was connected to him. I think that they were a connected death. Ed Asner and Rainford. Hugh Perry. So, and then Perry, that's my grandparents' side of the family with Levasseur, is Perry as well. So my grandpa has mentioned Perry, and that Perry was the one who fought in the Battle of Lake Erie. All right, I'll get off here. Have a good night, and thank you.